A few videos ago, I had spoke about unemployment and probably where it's going to end up at. And of course, I realize that a lot of people don't think about stuff like this, but I do because it's my job to think. I was talking to my Shias the other night, and I started talking about economics, capitalism, free market capitalism, crony capitalism, Keynesian economics, different schools of thought. Actually, the way that our economic system runs and the way that it really truly is as opposed to what they're telling us. I went into some detail. And of course, the other day, I think I stated that pending the end of this coronavirus, since there's no end in sight right now, I said things are not going to go back to the way that they were. As a matter of fact, if they told us that the unemployment at the time prior to this virus getting out was at 6.9 or upwards to 9%, I said bare minimum we're looking at 17% unemployment. And of course, and some people are calling for as far as north as 30%. And most people don't understand how bad that is for the country and how many jobs are going to be lost. Because you see, in every single crisis that we have like this, the rich always benefit. They always benefit for crony capitalism. They always benefit from the bailouts. They always benefit from quantitative easing, stimulus packages, and then the middle class and the poor people who are the actual working class people, because we actually make the money for the rich, because I understand that the rich have the businesses. And I'm telling you right now, you can't be a just, lawful, and truthful billionaire today. There's just no way without doing some things undermining. It's just impossible. That's just the way of the world. But I'm looking at a news article that was sent to me by Brother Brett, and it's NPR. And look what they're doing. They are quoting and stating that 3.3 million filed for unemployment claims, shattering records. And mind you, this is only 1 week worth of actually applying for unemployment. Claims for unemployment benefits are spiking across the country as businesses shut down to stem the spread of the coronavirus. All right, updated this morning, 10:51 Eastern Standard Time. A record 3.28 million Americans filed for unemployment benefits last week as the coronavirus pandemic shut down much of the country. The Labor Department report for the week ended March 21st was one of the first official indicators of how many people have suddenly been forced out of work nationally. In the prior report for the week ended March 14th, initial claims to entail 282,000. This marks the highest levels of seasonal adjusted initial claims in the history of the seasonal adjusted series. The department said that the latest figure, the previous high, was 695,000 in October in 1982. The Labor Department records go back to 1967. All right. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell appeared on NBC's Today Show, said what business and analysis already know, what businesses and analysts already know, that we may well be in a recession. Don't take to figure that out. This unique situation, Powell added, people are being asked to close their businesses, stay at home from work, and to not engage in certain economic activity, and so they are pulling back at a certain point, and we will get the virus under control and confidence will return. The staggering jobless claims figure was well above the level seen during the darkest days of the Great Recession, and the worst isn't over yet, economic forecasters say. The crisis has cut a giant swath through the energy, travel, transportation, hotel, restaurant sectors, with large and small companies suddenly forced to furlough employees. States that depend heavily on tourism, such as Nevada, Florida, as well as oil and gas towns like Midland, Texas, will be especially hit hard, but the damage will be felt almost everywhere, according to the Brookings Institutional report. The hotel industry alone has lost as many as 1 million jobs this month, and the American Hotel and Lodging Association says it's a huge shock, and we are trying to cope with it and keep it under control, says James Bullard, president of the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. Earlier this month said that the unemployment would hit 30%. There you go. There you go. See what I'm talking about? And this is just suggestion, okay? But he tempered those remarks Wednesday, saying he expected the number to fall quickly again. New claims filed last week were nearly 5 times the number recorded during the peak of the Great Recession. And in the week that ended March 28, 2009, about 665,000 new claims were filed. That was second only to the week that ended October the 2nd, 1982, when 695,000 first-time claimants were filed. Most historical comparisons of the scale are inadequate, says Daniel Zale, an economist with Glassdoor. The coronavirus outbreak is economically akin to a major hurricane occurring in every state around the country for weeks on end. The loss that many jobs is expected to push unemployment to 5.5%, a level it last reached in 2015, but it was likely to climb even further. Goldman Sachs has predicted that the jobs loss rate could approach 13% during the next few months. If the number of new claims is as high as predicted, and if it remains high in the upcoming weeks, unemployment will skyrocket. The Joint Economic Committee of Congress has said in a report ahead of Thursday's data that the collapse of the job market has been unprecedented in size and speed. Adam Hill of Worcester, Massachusetts, worked until recently as a graphic designer at a company that organizes trade shows. So he organizes trade shows, okay? A couple of weeks before this happened, we had a company meeting where we heard about how we did the previous year, and revenue was up. Everyone was pretty excited for the year, he says. Then all of a sudden, this show cancels, and then another one, and then another one. And within 2 weeks, I think 155 shows had canceled. No shows, no money. He says, I guess it wasn't too surprised. I guess I wasn't too surprised when I got laid off. Hill says he expects to be called back to work when the economy recovers, but no one is sure when that will be. In the meantime, the Senate has approved of a $2 trillion economic relief package that broadly expands unemployment benefits, extending them to gig workers and freelancers. It includes more generous benefits and extend eligibility for benefits by 13 weeks. A House vote is expected Friday. Copyrighted 2020 NPR. To see more, visit NPR. So there you have it. And mind you, if I can sit here at my desk out here next to a creek way out here in the country where the deer roam, and I can see all this, I can only imagine what the real true forecast is going to be. Again, my philosophy has always been, and I come to this at a very, very early age, in my 20s. I have tried to make sure I live my life in the benefits of others. I really, truly have. For those who are deserving of it, because everybody's not deserving of it, because we live in a very ungrateful and unthankful and unholy world. We truly do. And it's getting increasingly difficult for others to want others to have joy, peace, happiness, and all the good virtues that come along with a lot of things in the world. People have personal issues and things that they're striving against that they must overcome in the world that we find ourselves in. But I think more than anything, if one virtue that I could actually say that people really truly need to work on more than anything, and I think that's something that irks me, that gets me more than any damn thing in this whole entire world, is dealing with frustration. Because some people are masters at causing frustration and continually keeping up frustration, and to the point to where you just get literally sick and tired of them. You just literally get sick and tired of them because they refuse to actually change their mindsets nowadays. And I realize I'm jumping from that because unemployment today is going to cause frustration. And if you don't know how to get grips on frustration in your own household, especially when income is not coming in and the children are starting to get hungry, you're finding out that the government is not going to ride in on its white horse and deliver everybody like it says it is, even though it's printing money out to oblivion. The wise thing to always do is to preserve and prepare yourself. Remember, governments can't produce anything, they can only take. So every single time they get out there in front of you and tell you that they are creating these quantitative easings or these stimulus packages, realize that they are borrowing from your children's future. And I'm not exaggerating. That's just a flat out truth.